I mean, I think at this point the audience knows I'm an idiot. Hey, everybody, I'm Dustin.
I'm Jordan.
This is The Burbs, a place where you belong.
You were pointing at the glass when you said that.
Well, this.
Oh, you and I?
So in case you didn't know, The Burbs is this show, which you can watch on YouTube. You can listen to wherever you get your podcast, but it's also a bourbon club. We started it as a bourbon club. Am I wrong about that? You're looking at me like you're confused.
I'm confused 90% of the time you're talking.
So we started it as a bourbon club that was just you and I. It wasn't even a club. It was two dudes that liked bourbon, and we're like, sort of like, hey, try this, try this. Then you got into rye big time. And
naturally.
Of course, it's green. And so then we had a few other friends that were into it, and then we're like, well, let's drink some. I don't even totally remember we said, let's have a meeting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember it either.
So
you came back from Louisville, and you're like, I have this idea.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went up to Bourbon Trail, and then we came back and had, So you created a brand and a bunch of great graphics and some T-shirts.
That's what I do.
Stuff.
I get excited and draw pictures.
Yeah, and now we are over a year later. The club has grown. It's been great. We're actually shutting down. We've canceled all the subscriptions to the club because we're moving to Patreon. And we're moving to Patreon for a very specific reason. We don't need to get into all that. But if you want to find out more, you can go to theburbsofficial.com, which is our official website. Oh, yeah. Don't go to the fake Burbs.
That's why it says there in the URL, official.
Really, it says that because theburbs.com was taken. Or it was $4,000 or some stupid thing. Yeah. So, so we had a real big moment last night. We've decided that we're going to open a bourbon experience that's also a restaurant. So there's going to be
has to be a
restaurant.
It's
a restaurant. I mean, really, it's a restaurant with bourbon. It also has bourbon. But we're starting this thing in our city, and last night we got the first of 3 liquor licenses that we got approved.
Got approved.
Matter of fact, we swept. We had all yays from the council.
Yes, so I was flabbergasted.
I was so happy. So just if you're paying attention, if you're watching us on this journey or listening to this journey, that's where we're at, and it's pretty exciting. And we'll just keep you updated as we do these shows weekly. But today, as you know, I'm a big craft bourbon guy.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, and when I see. Well, that's not true. I'm not a big craft bourbon guy. I love craft beer, and I want craft bourbon to be as good as craft beer, but it almost always disappoints.
Yes.
The difference between big makers and craft is money and a lot of other things. A craft distillery, the amount it costs to start a craft distillery versus a craft brewery is way different. It's insane how expensive it is.
And you don't age beer, really. I mean, yes, it ferments, but not years.
Exactly. And so to start your distillery, you have to get bourbon from somewhere, usually MGP. So then that's always good because it's MGP and they do a good job. So this was on the shelf. I had taken my daughter to her singing class or whatever it was, and I had an hour to kill. And
you didn't stay to listen to your daughter sing?
You can't. It's not open for parents. This is
Sure.
There's a bunch of kids in there that do stuff. It's at the whatever, it doesn't matter. I put in the liquor store in my phone, and bada boom, bada bing, ended up at this place I'd never been to. I walked in and they had this bottle. I've never seen the brand. I'd never heard of it. But what's interesting about these guys is they're from Paris, Kentucky. In Paris, Kentucky.
Oui.
Yeah, that's right.
French Kentucky.
They are hardcore.
You think they use French oak?
I think they eat a lot of French fries.
French oak staves.
Dude, you are way over my head right now with that bourbon talk. Paris, Kentucky is in Bourbon County.
Okay.
And this was the first distillery to open after Prohibition. So Prohibition happened. It was called the Noble Experiment. Did you know that?
Prohibition was a noble experiment?
That's what it was called. It was called the Noble Experiment. And it was called that because not drinking alcohol or, and of course, alcohol is then and still today, a lot of times, just immediately it's related to getting drunk, which I don't do that. I mean, it's not even fun to me. I don't like it. I don't. Hey, you want to have a few drinks tonight for about 2 hours and feel like crap for 3 days? No, thanks. I'm good. But I love bourbon and I like craft beer but I don't. I got my limit. I got to stop where I got to stop because I don't want to feel like crap. Well, back in the day, it was the same thing, and they didn't want a bunch of men out philandering and gambling and doing stuff. So they called it the noble experiment because it was if you weren't going out drinking, if you were sober and dry and getting up for work every morning, that was way more noble, I guess, than not, right? So that's what it was called. And what these guys do is, and gals, I imagine, they didn't have a ton of information about their staff, but what they do is they're trying to produce pre-prohibition style bourbon. When I looked up what that meant, because I didn't know, it just meant essentially that there's a higher count of rye in it, which, you like. So, without further ado, let me pull this bottle out. It's a pretty tight bag.
Snug in there.
Yeah. It's called Hatfield and Company. See?
It's like a big old bottle of honey.
Yeah. So, there you go. It is Kentucky enacted, this is what it says, not this is what it is. Kentucky enacted prohibition in 1919, 1 year before the Noble Experiment began nationally. So 1919, everywhere else 1920. At that time, Bourbon County was home to, by some counts, 26 distilleries. Post-prohibition, none of them reopened, and it has stayed that way until now. Now, here is the downside to this bottle that I didn't read before I purchased it.
Wait, can you read that again?
The whole thing?
No, just
There was 26 distilleries,
Yeah.
and now this is the only one in Bourbon County.
Oh, in Bourbon County.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure there was
There's other breweries.
there's other distilleries that distilled through prohibition with licenses and whatnot.
Right.
But in Bourbon County, you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
in Bourbon County proper. So this is aged a whopping 5 months
Ooh.
or more. But here's what is interesting.
Or more.
So it says 5 months or more. It's 5 months.
Depends when
You're
we
trying
got
to make as much
around to
money.
bottling it.
Right. But here is what is interesting about this. It was aged for 5 months or more in a 6-gallon barrel.
So
It's a tiny barrel. I mean, that's tiny. So when you want to talk about barrel picks, when you want to talk about, these things that we do find out on the marketplace, most of the time you're going to get a barrel pick and you're going to be, happy with it because it's that one barrel.
That bottle looks like it's been sitting on the shelf for a while.
It might have been, but this is batch 67. This is bottle 167 of 314. There's no way that they got 314 750 milliliter bottles out of 6 gallons.
Well, yeah, that's because they mix them all. They take all the 5 months.
Oh, that's true. This has to be a blend, right?
And then put them all
of
together.
the same. Yeah. Okay. Let's listen.
Same. I'm listening. I stopped. I want to hear.
No, I know. You were going to say something.
Yeah,
I think it was going to be wise.
Tight.
That was a tweet.
You struggled.
I did. I was shaking. All right. There you go. Well, we're going to try this out. Hatfield and Company.
I mean, could that be more boring of a label?
I don't know. Yes, but I also I do kind of find it elegant.
Noble?
Yeah, like a noble experiment. You can pour as much as you want. You don't have to look at mine and then go, how much?
Just match.
So, they can't match because they're different.
Textured paper is nice.
Yeah, until you pour bourbon all over it like you just did.
You started it.
So, this is 100 proof.
Very clear.
Listen, this is 50% alcohol by volume, so it's 100 proof, distilled from corn, rye, and barley. We don't know what the mash bill is. Let's get a nose. Corn, dude. It's so immature. Yep. It's so immature.
I remember this morning when we were talking about this, and you're like, "I got a great bottle." This is not what I was expecting.
That's before I did any research on it. All right, let's go to the.
Yeah, I mean it smells stocky, husky, I should say.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just like, just soak some corn in a toilet. Soak some corn in a toilet, pour it in a glass, and give it to me because that's what this tastes like. God. Come on, don't put this stuff out. I'm definitely tagging these guys on this. Don't put this stuff out.
I don't hate it.
It's so immature and corny.
I don't hate it.
I'm disappointed.
It's different. It like
Yeah, because most people don't put stuff out in 5 months. Unless it's in the bottom shelf.
It's different, but I can't put on why it's different. Because, I mean, it's not Dad's bottle shop bourbon.
It's just about as bad.
Dad's is worse than
that was
this.
probably 3 months. Ugh. Nope. Ugh. It just lingers and lingers and lingers.
It tastes how a pumpkin patch smells. Like, like a harvest festival.
Well, that's because you're in a cornfield. All the corn's dead, right?
Yeah.
And it's all still up, all those stalks, and then it's just the wind just blowing.
That's what it tastes like. It tastes like a hayride.
Is that good for you?
No.
Have you ever been on a hayride? Just be like, if I could just lick the ground.
Like some things that, you taste. I had this conversation the other day because our neighbor gave us cookies. And my kid ate about 95% of the cookie and then handed me about this much and said, I don't like this.
Right.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't like this? That's what I feel. I had the first sip and then I had a second sip and I was like, I don't hate this.
All right, well, here you go.
And now the more that I drink it, I'm like, yeah, maybe I don't like this.
Yeah. Let's just put it in the bar and people can pay for it. And
there you go.
it'll be, no, you know what we could do? Maybe make.
What was MSRP on this bad
I don't
boy?
want to talk about it.
Please tell me. $10 for each month it aged.
It was 46. Yeah.
Mm.
I just get taken every time because there's going to be a unicorn, man. There's
No,
going to
there's
be.
not.
Yes, there is. I am going to find a bourbon that is on the shelf somewhere, and I just go, oh, this is craft. I've never heard of these guys. And I'm going to try it, and it's going to be great. I'm telling you, it's going
Here's
to
to
happen.
wishing.
I know. I like craft, though. I want craft to be. I want these little guys to like do interesting things, and
I'm going to tell you what I tell my kids all the time. You don't always get what you want. It's not going to happen.
clearly, at least not this week. All right. Well, hey, go follow us on all the things: Instagram, TikTok.
It's a weird color.
We're trying to get 1,000 on TikTok. I think we're almost 600.
I don't know. I don't have TikTok.
Well, we want to go live.
I don't watch any of our stuff.
So no, he doesn't. That's okay. You should watch the YouTube at least. All right. I work so
I'm
hard
living
on
it.
I know, but work so hard on it. You should show your kids. They'll think you're a star.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Later.